What is up, everybody? In this video, we have another Let's Build. Now, this is a different project than the first episode of the first series because this project has been moved to higher priority. So, this is the first part of the community project that I'm working on. And this is something that is part of a bigger vision. This is kind of working in synergy with all of the different applications I plan on building on this channel, but this is the most important one. This is the foundation. This is the backbone of everything that we're going to be building. So this platform, if you watch my main channel, if you want to see that channel, there's a link in the description below to my main channel. But on that channel, I talk often about the network state model and how I think that is basically the future of not just nation states, but corporations, small businesses, and I think it's just the next form of the business model in the future, where you effectively have like decentralized distributed authority, and you have basically a small team of executives and then a big community of individuals who are value aligned, mission aligned, and everybody is taking their own approach and helping the community get to the vision of the future that we have together. So the network state, if you're not familiar, is kind of like a society, a crypto society of collective action, collective value alignment, incentivizing each other to align with a singular mission. And I think that is just an obvious next step for not just nations, but corporations and small businesses. So this is going to be the backbone of that for me. Now, I have spent a lot of time building different prototypes for this, not deploying them quite yet, but just kind of like seeing how I want the backend and everything to operate with each other. I've spent a lot of time talking with different people, talking with AI models, and kind of getting a good idea of how I should be approaching this. And I've kind of came to the conclusion that it's a little early to start building like the Web3 type of integrations with the platform. I think it's better to start building within Web2 right now, but build it in such a way where it's scalable, but also very migratable. Meaning you can go from Web 2 to Web 3 as easy as possible. It's not going to ever be perfectly easy and simple. But I just think like the Ethereum blockchain and all of the current blockchains that exist right now are just not going to be the ones that you're probably going to want to build on. Like, obviously, people are going to build on them. Obviously, those things are going to be successful. But a lot of the technology stack that exists right now for crypto, I just think it's an early game. I'm just gonna put it that way. I don't think the one is I don't think it exists yet. I think Bitcoin is obviously a really good store of wealth. I think it's a fantastic asset, and I think that is probably the only real crypto right now. Everything else is just highly speculative, which is obvious, but it's also like the highly speculative stuff can also be very profitable. So, but nonetheless, the actual project that we're building here is in the future, or in a very near future, going to be Web3 based. But for now, we're building within the space of Web2 so that we can migrate over to Web3. So, that being said, as I've mentioned, we've taken a lot of time talking with AI, really hashing out the idea. I've made some little tweaks and stuff on different products along the way, kind of getting like a vision and educating myself on how I want to build this. Now we are getting to the point where, okay, it's actually time to build this. It's actually time to deploy it. Let my community join and give me feedback and move from there. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. Like I mentioned, what we have done so far is I have spent a lot of time hashing out the idea, spent a lot of time building the systems, building a lot of time building the feedback loops and the architecture for the entire thing, the entire vision. Now we're in the actual implementation phase. So you are going to be alongside me from step one until it is actually launched. Now, this is just the MVP. This is going to be something that is much, much bigger in the future, but you get to see everything from scratch, which I think that'll be pretty cool, is if we can have this if we can all like kind of build alongside each other and kind of open up the information. I think gatekeeping is something, oh, you can see me. I think gatekeeping is something that's going to be pretty like low status in a very near future. I don't think gatekeeping is a very viable business model long term. That being said, let's jump into this. So what I've done so far is I have, again, hashed out the idea with the O3 model. I have went ahead and made my database in Supabase. I have taken this mega prompt within Canvas that I made with the O3 model, and I have pasted that into my cursor roles here. And basically, there we go. Basically, this is the plan for cursor roles for the entire project. If you're new to vibe coding, which if you're new to this channel, I'm not necessarily the computer science expert. I'm more of a marketer. I'm good at finding high value opportunities in the marketplace and capitalizing on them, and that's pretty much it, right? I'm not necessarily the computer science guy. So vibe coding is something that is enabling me to be much more effective. I understand the theory of computer science. I understand like the application and the architecture, microservices, Docker containers. I understand those things. I understand the theory. I don't know how to code, right? I understand the theory of AI. I don't know how to build the actual models. I'm not the technical guy. I'm the theory guy, the idea guy, right? So basically, AI is the thing that's augmenting me to do the technical stuff while I stay in the higher dimensional, like ideation and the creative realms of cognitive capabilities. So again, I created the prompt, I put it in the cursor roles, I set up my env files, I connected my Supabase MCP server. Again, if you would like a tutorial on how to do that one day, let me know in the description below. Also, we have made the directory, and we are in the directory for the project, and we have our PowerShell open so that we can do stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and run this command that Cursor has given me. I'm going to go ahead and do the stuff that it tells me to do. Blah, 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 and we'll move from here. So one of the big things that I'm excited about for this channel is diving more into actually using the technology to build things, because I think that's going to be obviously what AI is used for, is for creating, building, and serving the community. Whether you're building a community or you join a community, building, serving, creating for, sharing with the community is the future. Obviously, AI is going to disrupt a lot. It's going to disrupt a lot of jobs. It's going to disrupt a lot of business models. So I recommend building a community, which is why I'm building a community platform right now. The big vision for the platform is to allow individuals in who are extremely motivated to adapt with technology. And basically, what we want to create a marketplace for the future of Web3, the future of AI designed products, AI created services. Pretty much, we're starting from first principles with AI first in mind. I think a lot of the business models and corporations that are already established and they're trying to pivot, I think they're going to have a hard time. I think you need to design the company or design the entire procedure or the entire ideology of the corporation from first principles with AI first, which is why I think the network state is the next version of the corporation. It's the next version of the company because it is a autonomous individual first ideology. Meaning, as we have decentralized AI, decentralized technologies, and everybody becomes highly capable and highly agentic, they're not going to want to be a slave at a job anymore. They're going to want to be highly agentic, highly autonomous, highly capable individuals where they are aligned in an organization and a community with people that they like, people that they get along with people who are high value just like they are and highly productive just like they are. And that community has a mission and everybody is aligned on that mission. I think that is the future of the corporation because everybody's going to be so highly agentic that you're not going to need to be in a different type of company, to put it in layman's terms. You're not going to need a boss. You're not going to need one. We're all going to be our own bosses and we'll probably have influence over each other. Absolutely, because that's just how status hierarchies work. Influence always exists, but actual authority over each other. Like, why would I stay at a company where my boss has authority over me? For one, he probably won't want me there because he'll use AI to replace me. And two, um, I actually don't even need to be there anymore because I have so much, like, that's the one thing that many people are stuck with, or stuck on with AI right now, is a lot of people think about it as a technology that removes the human capabilities. It is a technology that limits the human. Excuse me, it's actually a technology that enables the human. It augments the human to such a great degree where you can create value for yourself, for your family, and for the society that you're in without actually having to do that much. Like, obviously, you have to do stuff and you have to be creative and you have to work, but you're gonna have so much leverage where it becomes a lot easier to do a lot, if that makes sense. We're going to a cool place. Let's put it that way. So I think either being a part of or building a community is pretty much all that matters, and having decentralized access to technology is pretty much all that matters. And if you can figure out a way to capture more technology for your community, decentralize more technology for your community, empower your members with more decentralized, powerful technology, and make sure that you have a good filtering process to make sure you have highly aligned, highly valuable, value-driven individuals in your community that are all aligned on the goal that you have for the community, and they all have the same goal, and they're all happy to be there. They all have good camaraderie with each other. That is a powerful organization. They all have their own autonomy. They all are chasing the same goal in a different way. They all have basically their own structured corporation, because the corporation, like, what is AI? AI is nothing but sorry, I'm typing. AI is nothing but the decentralization of human intelligence and labor, or basically human capital, right? Right now we live in a society where the business owners of society are the only ones who are good at allocating intelligence and labor. Other words, human capital. Now we have the decentralization coming of human capital, or intelligence and labor, through artificial intelligence and artificial labor with robotics and AI agents. So as that becomes decentralized, then we all have that type of agency. The corporation structure becomes, as my one community member, Thomas Thomason, would say, holarchic rather than hierarchic, meaning it's more of a autonomous, decentralized structure than a top-down boss, leader, dictatorship type of structure for the corporation. Now, I think this happens at nation-state levels, corporation levels, and small business levels. And the network state is kind of like the logical conclusion for corporations, network, or nation states, and pretty much everything combined. Like, there is no other thing we should be focusing on. I've never been more excited for an opportunity vehicle. All right, let's see what my Mr. AI agent is telling me to do. Let's test it out. Let's get my terminal popping up here a little bit more. There we go. Follow link. Oh my god. There we go. Let's see what we got here. It's probably going to be broken. Oh, USX Alpha. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know, man? We got it relatively going. This is what we have so far. Let's keep going. So, yeah, early stages, boys and girls. There's probably not a lot of girls watching the channel, but that's okay. Obviously, I'm extremely excited for what's happening. We're going to a dope place. Let's put it that way. Hopefully, me rambling gives you guys a better vision for how things are moving, or at least how I see things moving. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that I am predicting is probably going to be wrong, and in the limit. But the framework, the general direction, I think is somewhat accurate. Let's put it that way. Highly likely. Nothing's going to be perfect that comes out of my mouth. Like, that is obvious. A lot of the stuff that I say, I'm probably going to backtrack on. Not like, depends on the types of things. Like, the high level framework, I think I'm pretty good. The details that I might make abstractions on, a lot of them are probably going to change as we learn more. Let's put it that way. And I think that's what we should all do, is admit where we're wrong, stay Bayesian, stay scientific, adjust our priors as we gather more information, and continue from there. And that's how we can move faster with higher leverage than most people, by implementing leverage in our thinking. Before we create the edit page, would you be like? Let's hit a little refresh. Okay, same shit. Maybe I should sign in. Check my email for the magic link. Outlook. Where's my magic link? What the hell is this? I can't send or receive emails? What is this garbage? I guess I'm gonna delete a bunch of stuff. Delete items. Here, let me have 41,634 unread emails. Holy shit. Okay. I did not even realize that. Empty. Delete all. Yeah, this is an email I don't use very often, as you can tell. Well, while that's happening, let's do something else. I'm gonna hop off this page just in case something sensitive pops up. Let's move onward. All right. Well, we're gonna have to use the email to log in before we can see what the profile page even looks like. So this might have to wait a second. I think that's one of the things that's very interesting about where we're at right now, is I think there is alpha to be had within software just in the user experience. Literally just the user experience alone, without even having a better product or without having real better functionality. Just UX, UI, the user interface, the user experience. If you can create intuitive, very pleasing, like if you can make it so the user feels the technology, they feel like they're in the future when they're using the product. The UI is just like so futuristic, not overly annoyingly futuristic, but clean, minimalistic, and futuristic. There's just something in that. Oh my god, 10,000 out of 40,000. There's just something about that in itself is attractive to the user. So even if the platform isn't a massive paradigm shift, just having the branding, the distribution, and the ideology, the arts, the subtleties go far right now. And with what I'm building with USX, that's part of the vision. Obviously, we have just started, so it looks like shit. Give it a second. It'll be cool soon. Give it a few weeks. We should be having the MVP live in weeks or less than 2 months. We'll say that much. And it's not going to be perfect, but I think hopefully you guys will see what I mean whenever I say the user experience and the user interface, is going to not be a moat, kind of a moat, like a psychological moat on its own. The first mover within an area with the type of vision that captures the creativity, the inspiration, the hope, the dreams of the future generations to build the future the best and make them excited for the future, and package that in such a way with the correct art, the correct vibes and feeling of the products, the experience of the community, the experience of everything that you're building. Making it the future feel like the future is a mode in itself. And I think that's why Elon Musk is so good at what he does. he really makes the future feel like you're going to the future. Like whenever he talks about the robo taxi, or he calls it the Robovan, the Robo van, or going to Mars. It's a good strategy. I'll give him that. It's a good strategy. There is alpha just in that. And I don't think many people realize that. Like marketing, advertising is just bad marketing. Branding is the way to do marketing. Branding, the product experience, the product visuals, that's the way you do marketing. I think there is a place for advertising. Absolutely. I come from the advertising space. Initially, I come from like B2B lead generation, like sending 10,000 cold emails per day for each client, and I had like 10 clients, so we are sending like hundreds of thousands of cold emails per day. And then I got into the advertising space, and then we were spending millions of dollars in ads, and now we're in the community building network states technology space, and trying to build the future in decentralized technology because, wow, this stuff is powerful. We are entering an era for the first time where if you don't actually understand, if you're not actually leveraging technology to a large degree, not even just like a sufficient degree, a large degree, like over indexing into it, you're probably gonna be left behind. It's just a reality of where we're at. Holy cow, man. Jeez. I have issues. Alright, we're fixing it. It's okay. I'm just here waiting for my mail to be clean so I can work on the product. Okay, so we finally got the email inbox cleaned. We have no more junk mail in there. And now we have a little problem where after we are in the authentication page and we sign in and we log in, it brings us to this blank page right here. So basically, I'm just going to tell the AI that problem and it's going to fix it for me. I wonder if my credits are back for my Whisperflow. No, they are not. When I log in and authenticate my profile, I come to this page after I log in. Zoop. Little screenshot. Screenshots are the secret to vibe coding. I have a problem. All I do is I screenshot it. I explain what's happening the way I don't want it to happen. I say, think about fixing this before you fix it. It lays out the thought experiment. And then I say, now fix it. And it fixes it. So sometimes you'll have to supply a lot of screenshots. Sometimes you'll have to screenshot the actual UI, the interface itself, and then the logs, and then the user console, and all of these things. And then you say, this is what it's doing. I don't like that. I want it to do this, right? And then you just supply that information and then say, think about this and all of the possible scenarios that could be used to fix it. And don't do anything until it's fixed. Or don't do anything, just explain the thought process and explain how you would fix it at a high level. And then after it explains it, then say implement this perfectly, and then it will do it, which is pretty beautiful. So now we have the actual place where the community will be held. Obviously, it looks quite shit right now. We're going to have to fix that quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and accept all. This UI is garbage. So let's do this. Let's start with a plain black page that says USX in the top left corner, and there is a profile image holder in the top right corner. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Oh my god. That is it. So this is the one thing about vibe coding, is for now at least, you just kind of gotta like brute force through the things that are annoying and boring, and that's it. But if you treat this as meditation, it's actually a superpower. Whenever I'm like sitting down and I'm solving problems, or I'm sitting down and I'm doing math, or I'm sitting down and I'm vibe coding, it's kind of just like meditation. Because like obviously for math or something, you have to like think, and it's pretty hard. It's like computationally energy, like it takes a lot of energy to do it. But for something like this, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of energy, but I can just kind of sit here, vibe, because it's vibe coding, and be kind of in a state of meditation as I'm doing it. I'm kind of locked in. I'm pretty zoned in. I read. I learn a lot while I'm doing it. And yeah, so now we have USX in the top left. We have the little profile thing. Again, it still looks very ugly. Let's give it some time though. This community feed is like in the wrong color completely. But we're just going to delete it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Completely deleted is what it'll be. So I think if we're going to take inspiration from a community platform, I think obviously the best one is X. The best user interface for a community platform is X by far. And obviously, nothing really matters besides the mobile interface. And X, Threads, pretty much any community platform where it's mainly text and also has images and videos. The user interface that X has is just obviously the best. So we're gonna take a lot of inspiration from that. Just gonna be brutally honest. A lot of inspiration from that. I gotta accept that, don't I? So I actually have some Figma files that I have made. Let's go to Figma. Here we go. Now, I know you can like deploy or whatever from Figma. I actually think that's not a very, I don't, that's not the way I like to do things. Let's put it that way. So I have like what I want here, what I want it to look like. Oh shit. Okay, directionally. Let me get rid of all this shit. So exactly, right? Twitter. It's literally Twitter. Very similar to Twitter. So you have like your compute, your community, your notifications, your messages, your wallet, your settings, whatever, and then you have like all of the stuff over here. It's pretty much Twitter, but it's gonna be better. We'll put it that way. So yeah. Apparently we have a new layout now. Okay, it's just this layout. Let's make 3 panels similar to X, formerly Twitter. Shit. Jeez, man. Why don't you guys just like slide together like you're supposed to? This one's not doing it either. Well, that's no fun. Ta-da! The 3 panels are coming in. Shit. Whatever. Cool. So, simple interface so far. Still extremely ugly. Let's go ahead and start to fix this a little bit. So, since this is the MVP, and this is basically just going to be the United States of Acceleration only platform for now until we get everything structured the way we want it to, and then we'll start to build in the feed and the marketplace and stuff like that, which is the long-term vision. For now, we're just going to say delete all of the text, all of yeah, I'm just gonna delete all of the text, and we'll do just that for now. All right, let's get our example from Figma. Get a nice little screenshot going. Puts a header on the feed or community feed page like so. The sign-in page is looking kind of funky. Change Hive to USX. All right, before we keep messing with the interface, let's actually get some functionality built out. So we have made the tabs and stuff, the content block, blah, 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 blah. This satisfies the interstrict, blah, 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 blah. We can now proceed. What would you like to do next? What do you suggest we do next? I always defer to the AI. I'll be honest, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Now, I know it's just going to give me like the standard way of doing things, which I'm honestly okay with that. Because as long as it's robust, I can make the interface look pretty cool. I think that's one of the only things I'm pretty good at, is just like making user experiences and interfaces. Because it's just kind of like making the most simple, the most irreducible interface, and then measuring the outputs of it and making sure that you're optimizing for the correct outputs for that interface. Marketing taught me that one. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. You've got this shit, bruh. Oh, no. Wait, okay. Never mind. It's doing good. I can't complain. So, the beautiful thing is, as long as you have the features and functionality kind of like played out in your head and you have a good vision for what you want, you can kind of just build it now. I know there are some people who will say, well, AI is not good enough yet. It can't actually build all of the things that you want. I think they just haven't tried hard enough to use AI to build all of the things that they want. Because I've been building different types of platforms, whether it's like an LLM wrapper or just like simple stuff like this. This is pretty simple. You can actually just do it now. You have to try a variety of different ways if you're gonna vibe code it. If you're not gonna like build it yourself, you have to do a lot of testing and trying to execute things in a variety of different ways. And a lot of the times you have to like, whenever I get stuck, I have Cursor pretty much tell me where we're stuck. I say, what's the goal? Tell me the code that we're having issues with. And then I'll get like all of the logs, all of the console logs, pretty much everything, whether it's the client side or the project side. And I basically take all of that information and I give it to O3 in ChatGPT. And then I have it solve the problem. And then I copy and paste its output into this. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. Let's do that. And then it works. So, I mean, like, you just got to be creative and be resourceful with the AI and try different models, try different ways around it. And you can actually do it. You don't need to be an engineer. It isn't quite smooth yet. It's not quite super easy yet, which it'll be there very soon. As you can tell, I haven't really had major issues just doing this, but so far it's been quite simple what we were doing here. Now, part of the thesis is software is becoming content, right? Now, a lot of people have been asking, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is like content like YouTube or short form content, even, but primarily YouTube because it's longer form and you put more effort into it, kind of like software. Long form content is something that you create once and then it's there forever. And people can use it, people can reference it, they can go back and take the value out of it, they can do whatever they want with it, right? The content's valuable. And it's kind of like real estate on the internet. I think software is becoming the same thing, where just like YouTube videos, you can churn out a YouTube video per day, but it's going to take a lot of work. It's not actually that easy if you want to have high quality YouTube videos. Software is going to be very similar, where the rate at which you can generate quality ideas will be the rate at which you can create software applications, and that'll just kind of be like the new form of content, and all of that will be funneling to whatever products that you have, right? Whether it's a community or different types of software products or whatever. The main products, you'll basically be using software to funnel to them, is what I mean by software is becoming content. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I don't want to make this episode too long. We'll have another episode very soon because I'm trying to get this built pretty quickly. And I'm going to probably be building the entire thing on video. So that being said, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to join my free community, I have one linked in the description below. Subscribe to my other YouTube channel if you're not already. And I also have the official USX community linked in the description below on Skool, which is super cheap at the moment. As this becomes a thing, the price will be going up. So go ahead and join now, and I will see you in the next video.